Alex Murdaugh, who is on trial for the 2021 murder of his wife and child, testified at his own trial on Thursday. Murdaugh's defense attorney asked him if he had shot his wife and child, and Murdaugh flatly refused. However, he admitted to lying to investigators about his alibi. Murdaugh blamed his opioid addiction for his paranoia and lies, but claimed he never did anything to harm his family. He also described how he and his son checked the plantings of fields on Moselle, a family estate, before showering and changing clothes. Murdaugh sought to humanize himself, recounting his love for his family and his relationship with his ailing parents. Alex Murdaugh's trial for the murder of his wife, Maggie, and son, Paul, has been rife with twists and turns and sensationalism from the start. Murdaugh, who is a third-generation attorney for one of the most prominent families in southern South Carolina, claimed early on that he had no involvement in the murders, but police quickly became suspicious of him. Murdaugh's testimony was one of the most highly anticipated moments of the trial, as he made an unexpected decision to testify on his own behalf. His testimony, which lasted several hours, was a mix of emotion and evasion, with Murdaugh admitting he mentioned it to investigators and trying to deflect difficult questions about his behavior on the night of the murders. Murdaugh's defense has tried to discredit the evidence approved by the prosecution, arguing that the investigation was misguided and that there are other people who could have motives for committing the murders. However, the prosecution has produced overwhelming evidence, including eyewitness testimony and telephone records that suggest Murdaugh was near the scene of the crime the night it took place. As the trial continues, many people in southern South Carolina are closely following developments in the case, which has been the subject of great public interest. It's still unclear what he agreed to with Murdaugh, but regardless of the outcome of the trial, it's likely the case will continue to be discussed and debated for a long time to come. This is a complex and emotionally charged case that has attracted a lot of public attention. Regardless of the outcome of the trial, it is important to remember that there are real victims involved in this case and their families are suffering a great loss. It is essential that justice is done and those responsible for the murders of Maggie and Paul Murdaugh are held accountable for their crimes. As an outside observer, it's easy to get sucked into the sensationalist narrative of the case. However, we must remember that the details of what happened on that fateful night are still being revealed at the trial. Rather than focusing on speculation or rumors, we should wait until all the facts are presented in court before filming precipitates. Alex Murdaugh's case will serve as a sobering reminder that no individual is above the law and that the truth will eventually prevail. I hope that justice is served and that Maggie and Paul Murdaugh's families can find some kind of peace and closure after this sad episode. As the Alex Murdaugh trial continues, it's important to remember that justice is a complex and often time-consuming process. While we may feel strong emotion about this case, it is essential that we allow the system to function legally compliant. As spectators, we can learn a lot about the court process and how it can be used to ensure the truth is discovered and justice is done. With that in mind, we'd like to hear your thoughts on the case. Do you believe that Alex Murdaugh is innocent or guilty? Do you think the investigation was motivated? How do you think the community can recover from such a tragic and controversial case? Share your thoughts in the comments below and let's continue to discuss and learn together.